Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and today we're going to talk about Black Clover in this video, and there's a few other ones I want to do. Now, I've been away for a couple of days, enjoyed my Easter weekend and just spent time with family. It's a bit weird, but it occurred to me that you tend to watch my videos more when I produce less, which is weird because I like to kind of tailor to a lot of different audiences. I think this last week that's just gone, One Piece chapter review had the highest amount of views in a very long time, so I'm a bit perplexed about the whole thing, and I do want to produce more content and talk about some of the series that I am kind of reading myself, but I need that balance, so I will try to kind of tone it down a little bit to a certain degree, but I still have those I want to talk about. It's currently 5 that I really want to talk about, and then there's the extras. That is One Piece, Black Clover, My Hero Academia, 7 Deadly Sins, and Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail due to end in the next couple of months, so that will go down to 4. And there's the extra stuff after that, which is the new stuff, Dr. Stone, Robo X Laser, Hungry Marie, and then hopefully Hinamaru Zuma and no Shibutai, as much as all this other stuff that I really want to talk about that I haven't got around to. With that being said, let's just get on to Black Clover. Loads to talk about. Wasn't the best chapter, but it sets up potentially some amazing things. So let's get into it. So, chapter 107, called the King of Clover Kingdom. Let's kind of talk about that first, because it introduces a few different things that are pretty interesting, but also some pitfalls that lay ahead. So let's cover the stuff that's introduced and the kind of key topics, and we'll go over what's important to, in my opinion, and what you should consider. So the first thing, let's talk about the king. The king is exactly what you expected in that world. So what I mean by that is the royal we, the pompous, the elitist, the petty, the childish, the power-mongering, the person that exploits his power for not necessarily the most noblest of intentions. That type of king. Now, the reason why that isn't surprising is because of how the culture and society is. Essentially, the ideals a leader perpetuates, it tends to fester and grow into society and not the other way in. And you can see that this is not necessarily a monarchy or a leadership based on, I guess, credit or merit, or democracy is based on lineage. And, my father, the second. His name is Augustus Quiller Clover the 13th, and other than being quite powerful in the energy and magic department, the guy's basically a prick. But I must say, I loved when Asta told it straight. He's like, why does he get to pick? I mean, we're not even here for him. I mean, he's not even amazing. I mean, he's got all this power and he doesn't do anything with it. I mean, we like the Sorcerer King. The Sorcerer Emperor is the man. And I completely agree. He's basically saying what the people think, but he has the audacity to say it right next to the king. And that's what you got to love about Asta's straightforwardness. And I think his honesty is what's really going to be an endearing quality for him in the future, because he tells it how it is. He's a bit flippant, he's a bit OTT at times, but that's going to be one of his endearing qualities. With that being said, he hates Golden Dawn because they're better than the Silvers, because they're I believe, from what I remember, the Silver family is one of the key noble families, if not the main noble family. And the reference that the king was making was to the Silvers, not necessarily the Leons, because they're like a side family, not necessarily the main kind of line. So I believe that's who he was referring to. With that being said, he hates Golden Dawn anyway because he doesn't like the colour. Beyond that, he's basically not somebody I would want to be my leader, but then again, I don't get to choose my leader either. So in any case, he also takes the thunder from the Sorcerer Emperor by announcing something which I'll talk about later. Anyway, the people, including Asta and Yuno, want the Sorcerer Emperor to be king. The reason why that is, let's list them out. The guy is cute as hell when he geeks out. He's so cute, he has the big eyes, he's like, oh, magic! That is just cool. The guy's a nice guy. He's not stuck up. He stands up for his people. He doesn't believe in the elitist kind of groupings. He's all away from that. Even the way he's picked his captains tells you that. I mean, he picked an outsider with Yami. He picked the leader of Golden Dawn. He had a curse, gave him a mask. Jack the Ripper. I don't know what's going on with my camera just there, but there's like so many things and action he has done which makes him a better leader. Now, if you want to kind of understand how this works, if you think of the Sorcerer Emperor as the Hokage, the king is basically the shogun, I guess. It's kind of like that. With that being the case, basically, there's so many things you like about the Sorcerer Emperor. Why can't he be king? That might change by the end of the story. We'll have to wait and see. Let's hope the king gets killed and he has no heirs. Anyway, let's talk about the main thing here. The main thing here is the raid. Apparently, this was going to be the Sorcerer King's revelation, but the main king wanted to take the glory. Basically, they have found where the extremist group, the Midnight Eye, Third Eye, is basically holed up. They're going to do a raid. They are going to invade them. Now, the location hasn't been kind of stated, but that's, as it's revealed, there'll be more complexities to the operation. But we're told that there's going to be a selection program, a type of exam that picks the best of the best for the Royal Guard. Kind of like the Knights Templar type of thing. They're going to invade the Holy Land. We'll not go into politics and history. With that being said, though, this sets up kind of so much. It's kind of like the author watches my videos and he's like, oh, is that what Mr. Clues, Q's and Reviews want? Let's put that in a chapter in the future. There's so much there. So remember how I was saying before, I was so glad they were powering up, or they need powering up, then I was glad they were powering up the members of the Black Bulls. This is what it's for. This is a key kind of thing. So what this does is allows them to see how they stack up against other people. Now, that's a given because it's always going to be, you can always going to be compared to somebody else, right? But this is now people in your own kingdom. Whereas we've had like early rankings and we've got kind of told that, okay, these are like intermediate class people with the water temple stuff. We're going to get something more official. So a person that might be ranked in, the just under the captains, for example, like a advanced magician or mage, from one crew, how does that compare to somebody else? So although they may hold the same ranking, they may not be the same amount of strength because that person hasn't been awarded or he has been validated in a while or whatever have you. With that being said, all the captains or some of the captains are ready to take part as well, which can only make this harder. This also will show you is after Asta's new ability and Yuno's new abilities at the captain level. We will see that. At the same time, we will see people who don't make that cut. Now, taking away from the positive, there's something we need to consider. It's strange that we now know the location after only capturing the people so many chapters ago. In terms of a timeline, it's not been that long. So if you think about that, have that in your mind, don't you think it's convenient that they found this hideout by interrogating the enemy? And Liar is among them people. So do you not think the possibility of it being a trap is there's a good chance of it? That's what I think. It's a double-edged sword. You could attack them and you could do really well. You could attack them and trigger something else like, the World War III for them. The Diamond Kingdom, the Spade Kingdom, the Heart Kingdom, all can get involved, for example. So we don't know how that's going to impact them. And we don't know if it's a trap. We do not know any of those things. That's what makes it interesting. And we're going to leave it off this review, although it's kind of gone on for quite a bit. The part at the end. The part at the end is interesting because we see Leo with the new captain. He's getting punched in the face. Why did you embarrass us? We're 5th. We're going to get a whole chapter about this next week, but here are my guesses. That's probably his older sister, and the reason why we're getting this focus now is because they're going to be involved in this announced raid, and we're going to get to see how powerful she is and how much progression Leo has made, being that he was I believe an intermediate rank at one point. So with that being the case, we're going to see how much the change with his brother, Leo's brother, Fuego's losing his arm, nearly dying, has affected him, and how much growth he has. With that being said, that is all from me. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you in the next video, which will be about One Piece. See you then. Peace.